We're going to be looking at SR latches. Here we have a set and a R for reset. And when we look at these, we have 4 different inputs. Well, actually we have 5, and we will look at all of these in a second. So our first one is when we are at the set state. So when we're at the set state, we have Q. Let's look at this first one, this first row. Q is 1, so the output of Q right here is 1, and then our Q naught is 0. And then our S naught is 0, and our R naught is 1. So looking at this, we can see that we need to fill out the other input here and input here. So we know that this input belongs with our Q naught, and our Q naught for here is 0. So we have a 0, 0 here. And this is going to give us, if these are both 0, 0, and we have a Nand gate, we know that 0, 0 is going to give us a 1. So that's good. And then we have this 1 right here that's going to go into this Nand gate. And we know 1 and 1 being nanded together is going to give us 0. So we know that this holds true, and that's the set state. Now let's look at the next one. So we have a 1, 1 here. So our inputs are going to be 1, 1, and then we have 1 here, and also a 0 here. So let's see how this differs. We can see, if we look at the top, the 0 is going to come and carry up here as the input. And for a NAND gate, well, let's actually draw out a NAND gate. We have 2 inputs, A and B, and then we have NAND. We have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. We know an AND gate is 0, 0, 0, 1, so not an AND gate is 1, 1, 1, 0. So when we look at the top one, we have 1, 0. We know that our output is going to be 1, so that checks out again. And then for the NAND, we have the 1 for our R naught, and then we also have 1 for the input here. And so 1, 1 being nanded together is going to give us a 0. So we are going to also have the 1, 0, so that checks out there. So that's how that would work. Next, let's look at our reset state. So we'll do this in green. We have 1 here, and then we have a 0 here. And then the reset is 0, and then we have 1 here. So we're going to have a 1 as the output here. 1, 1 being nanded together, we know is 0, which we are given a 0 here. The 0 is going to carry on to here. 0, 0 being nanded together is going to give us this 1 out here. So that's the reset state. And then that's the same thing for this next one as well, that we're just not going to do because it's the same thing. What's pretty interesting is this undefined state. So if our S naught is 0 and our R naught is 0 and our Q is 1 and our Q naught is 1, we can see that this is pretty strange, because if our Q is 1, the naught of it should be 0. And because Q naught is the same as Q, we run into some kind of error here, which is why it's undefined. We see that if we have 0, 1 as this input here, we're going to get the 1, and then 0, 1 gives us the 1. So to prevent this, we could use some kind of logical NOT with one of the inputs to prevent such an undefined state from happening. But that's kind of the rundown of SR latches with these gates.